All right, so today we're going to cover a couple of my older body cam videos that I've, posted on the channel. These ones don't feature me talking, giving commentary, so I figured I would go back to, a couple of the older ones that were kind of questionable at the time and kind of give them a commentary to give an idea on why the force was used the way it was. The first video covered will be the Blaine County District Attorney's Office footage release from February 22nd of 2023. This originates as a traffic stop, at which point the suspect on that said traffic stop did display a firearm, so officers called for backup, stood behind the one charger in a felony stop position. We'll play the video and then I'll kind of go over what happened. So in this incident, I was the Sonora Valley Police Department officer, so I was SVPD officer. I was the first body cam you saw. I got out of the Granger 3600 LX. Suspect got out of his car. I opened fire. So essentially what happened is when he exited his vehicle, he pulled out what we now know was a flashlight. But at the time, I just saw him pull a black object from his person. And he was, as you saw in the video, he was walking towards me. So I was afraid that he had a firearm at the time, so that's why I opened fire the way I did. And then the Sandy Shores PD officer, they fired, I think it was 2 rounds, and that's when he, went to the ground. I think that incident could still happen in RP today, and the only reason I say that is when a suspect gets out of their vehicle like that, and you can only see part of their hand, and you see them pull an object that's, black, you're going to assume it's either a knife or a firearm. So you're going to take that combative, aggressive, ready-to-use force stance. Essentially what you're taught is you don't want to give the suspect a chance to raise whatever object they pulled, because if you give them time to, raise the object and point it, it's too late. Now, I know the one officer in the clip who fired 1 round at the suspect's tire. That was because the suspect already displayed a weapon, and he was hoping to maybe deflate or pop one of the tires before the car could be able to continue any further. Alrighty, so the next clip is from the Sandy Shores Police Department critical incident briefing that occurred on June 10th of 2022. This incident has garnered some controversy, and when you see the footage, you'll realize why that it was a controversial use of force incident. In this incident, I was Sandy Shores PD officer number 1, and you can also see the body cam footage from SSPD officer number 2, which does show my character getting assaulted. Once his video starts, you can kind of see the suspect in the combat stance assault me before I move back, and the suspect kind of tries to assault another officer, but he kind of misses and stays in the combat stance. Well, by that time, I had already drawn my weapon, and it began firing, and the other officers followed suit, and then the suspect, went down. However, once we viewed the footage, we saw that midway into that gunfire ensemble, the suspect began to put his hands up in a surrendering motion. Do keep in mind at this time, Grand Theft Auto Online did not have a taser, so that was not an accessible option. We obviously had the baton, and the quote-unquote less lethal was the flare gun, but that obviously looked pretty jank on Bodycam. So in that situation, it was kind of a lose-lose, because you use the baton, you have to get close to the suspect, and by the time I had drawn my weapon to fire, the suspect was still technically in that combat stance, and it wasn't until midway through that he wanted to surrender, and I didn't really see that at the time, because I was more focused on adrenaline and the suspect that had just assaulted us, and the other officers also fired. So that also played a factor in that situation. That type of situation would not have happened in Grand Theft Auto Roleplay had it happened today, because now that we have the tasers, we are very reliant on those in all less lethal situations and anything regarding de-escalation. So had that happened today, he would have definitely been tased and then arrested without further incident. Also seen in the video, you can see the camera clip through the arm or the hand area, and at this time I was still getting the hang of Rockstar Editor with moving cameras on players, so there was a little bit of clip through, but that was a couple years ago, and since then I've kind of learned a bit more about Rockstar Editor. Those were the 2 body cam footage incidents that I reviewed from my no commentary days, as you want to call it. I mean, obviously I put in text, about what happened, but I always feel with commentary you can add a lot more than just limited text letters. Those 2, I chose those directly because I know both of those were a little controversial, because in the first one you couldn't really see anything, unless you really looked, and in the second one, halfway through he put his hands up, so both of those looked pretty bad. I began my roleplay career on GTA Online in late 2016, but it didn't really take off until early 2017 when I joined my first server. Before that, it was just looking for group post roleplays. It wasn't until 2018 that I started doing the body cams, and I put them in a Discord channel in the few of the servers that I was in, but I didn't really take those to YouTube until late 2019, early 2020. One of the main questions I get is why the body cam footage or dash cam footage? Well, in a lot of the roleplay servers, a lot of them wanted to be geared towards real life, realistic roleplays. And realistically, a lot of departments put out these critical incident briefings, so I figured, well, why not do it for GTA Online roleplay to bring transparency to the community and to better explain use of force incidents to the members in case any of them had questions on why that said force was used. I intend to continue posting body cam footage on YouTube. Currently, I run certain departmental body cam off of the Sonora Valley Police Department YouTube channel, which I think has 22 subscribers. And then this channel, I'll post non-Sonora Valley body cam footage. So if it's Blaine County Sheriff's Office, if it's Highway Patrol, State Patrol, they'll generally be posted onto this channel. Before I end the video, I was going to answer a question. The question was, how come some of the older body cam videos say Sonora County? So at that time, in the roleplay server that I was in charge of, we wanted to kind of break that status quo. Everyone always does Blaine County, which, Blaine County roleplay, that's a really commonly used name. by multiple different servers. So at that time, we went with Sonora County because the Sonora desert, is such a vast, desert. We kind of just named it Sonora County. And then we also had Toledo County and obviously Los Santos County. So that's why some of those older videos say Sonora County. However, with that being said, I do want to thank you all for watching the videos, not just this one, but just in general. The subscriptions to the channel are definitely appreciated and they don't go unnoticed. So I do thank every single one of you for that, and have a good rest of your day.